of safe drinking water, especially as we get to the end of the year, this Yuletide?
Okay, Andrew, it's not easy for us in the industry, and policing this industry 247 every day is not an easy task. The issue of unwholesome water, adulterated water, and all the rest of that are there. We will not deny the fact that it's not there. Some of this thing, we are not God to know where these things are being produced from. That's why when we come on air like this, we beg the public also to give us information so that we can work on. Sometimes when I go out, especially the traffic, especially the bottled waters, popular brands are being faked by these hawkers, and even the sachet in question also. So it has not been easy for us in the industry, but if the public are going to give us information, we just have to work together, because water in question is very, very essential.
Well, many people would say the rise or availability of fake drinking water would largely also be dependent on how we dispose the waste, plastic waste. Because when you take bottled water and then you're done, how you dispose the bottle is now a problem, because most times we see people pick these bottles and just sometimes go wash and fill them up and then sell with those. So there's now a problem of how do we even manage the waste we generate from the consumption of bottled water. In Lagos State, the government has put a movement in place, especially to this Yuletide, where the concentration of this would be very high. We're going to generate a lot of waste from the use of bottled water. Is that something you have looked at as a way to tackle the problem of fake and also save the environment?
We cannot do that alone, because the government need to come in. I remember in 2019 when the River State House of Assembly then summoned all of us. One of the major problem they put before us was the waste, these bottles. You go to some hotels, you see the hotel pack this bottle and sell to some unknown women or some unknown men who comes to buy these bottles, and we don't know what they use it for. And the bottle covers are there in the market, you can easily get it. Now you can just fill those bottles and put the cover, heat it, it will just go inside. So you don't necessarily need a machine to cork the bottle. So once you just put a heat it will just go inside, and you think it's a sealed water. So we then made a suggestion to them that, okay, there should be a bill before the House of Assembly passed into law that every hotel, every restaurant, every eateries, anybody that is doing occasion, after consumption of this bottled water, they should crush it, damage it, so that these women who comes to buy these empty bottles at the end of the day, this bottle will not end up being in the market again with a different water content, and you think it's from the company. I have witnessed something. I went to Bayelsa at Mbiama. In fact, the person that carried me is also a producer around that Ahoda Aziz. We went to Bayelsa for a function. As I was thirsty, so I just stretched hand. One of these popular brand. I just stretched hand. Give me water. He didn't answer me. He was just laughing. I drank the water. From Mbiama, before we got to Ahoda main town, in fact, I was holding my stomach. I was just crying. I said, what is going on? He said, Chairman, if I tell you, say make you no drink that water, you no go agree. So I won't make you test and make you see. So this is what happens in Mbiama. that any water, any bottled water you see here, especially this particular brand, know that it is fake. It's not from the company. So this is what they know.
And this is as a result of them picking the bottles of those companies that were disposed by users, and then they just fill them up again and put them back into the market.
Yeah.
But then, if you look at some parts of the country, in the parts of the world, I beg your pardon, can't these brands come with incentives? I know in some parts of the world, when you purchase bottled water or drinks, they if you return the bottle back to them, they have saying, okay, you get a 2% discount or a 1.5% from the original price, because we're also encouraging recycling, and it also saves the company money when these bottles can go back directly to them. So has WAPA not sat down with producers and say, let's create a mechanism where we can have the consumers find a way to directly return this bottle back to us, and if it means we pay them a percentage because it saves us the cost of producing new bottles or buying new bottles, we recycle the old ones, we wash them and do all. It happens in China, every part of the world. Is that something that has been looked at?
Okay, that would have been possible, but considering our culture of handling things, I don't think that will be possible, because now you take from the factory your bottle, you package your water, the bottle is sparkling clean, and you supply it to a retailer, maybe a shop, a supermarket, and that supermarket keeps the bottled water packed under the sun, and as long as sun is hitting it, the bottle starts fading away. And you're not saying they should return that faded bottle to me to repackage it and sell again. People don't even buy it. They say, this it looks like fake.
So other parts of the world where they use it, what happens?
But
because I know that the only thing here is there's the label that would wrap the bottle that you might need to reprint and then wrap around the bottle again. Let me use myself for an instance. I think this we'll have to go for a commercial shortly. I take bottled water. That's what I drink, or I do dispenser bottles. So now for the plastic bottled water, I have plenty of bottles in my house. Now I don't know how to dispose them, because I know too well that if I just give this thing out to anybody, I don't know what they're going to use it for. That's one worry. Second worry is, even if you crush it, unless you carry knife or begin tear bottle after you drink, that's the only option. Because even if you crush, people will still pick it up and blow it up and still fill it.
Yes. So
then it puts me in a place where I have bottles lying in my house, plenty of bottles. And then I called one of the companies and suggested, can't you have this system? Can't I pack these things and bring to you? And they said, no, let's take a commercial. You'd respond. Mapan River State chapter is with me in the studio, Egberi Mackson, and we are talking about ensuring availability of potable water and how to manage plastic waste generated from the consumption of water in bottles. It's a major concern. I mentioned Lagos State looking into how it can manage plastic waste properly, especially as we get into the Yuletide in full gear. And beyond the Yuletide, there's been plenty of talks about how plastic waste could be affecting the environment, global warming, and why we need to manage it. We generate tons of waste, plastic waste, in River State. Go to the dump site and you would know. But what would you suggest to be an effective way to manage plastic waste? If you can share with us, you have ideas. Well, I have WAPAN chairman with me. Share those ideas with us. What suggestions would you give to effectively manage plastic waste? That's the question. On Facebook, it's Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. On X, Nigeria Info PH. You can also join the conversation using the WhatsApp number 0809 030 6416. And you can also call us up on 0817 923 0003 and 0817 923 0007. Let's go back to Mr. Mackson. So you were saying quite a lot during the commercial, and I wish you could say some of those things on air, because we were already talking about how we need certain incentives, I was saying, and I feel like producers haven't done too much. If they have, what steps have been taken put in place to ensure that we find a way to, if not completely stop, at least on our own part, while we wait on government, since the producers are the ones generating the plastic, we can get a reasonable amount of this back. So what could be the hindrances, and why are we not seeing that?
Okay, first, the producers of this bottled water, also the sachet water, also produce at loss, they sell at loss, and at the same time, if you're not telling them to do what we call buyback, they are also going to start spending from the losses they've already made in terms of buying back this plastic waste. I think the parts of government we are talking about is the government partnering with the associations and coming up with a program we call waste to wealth. Waste to wealth. Whereby if there is this program on ground, children who are coming back from school can take advantage of this by picking some amount of plastic waste, go to a designated area, they weigh it, they pay them, and from there they move to a dump site or a recycling plant where these things can be recycled. Now, let's take for example, like in India. India, I would say, is one of the most advanced countries when it comes to technology. Now, in India, road construction and building, anything construction they want to do that has to do with road, building, or whatsoever, there's a percentage amount of plastic
that they use.
How? These plastics are grounded into pallets, mixed with asphalt to construct roads.
So it's one of the ways in which they reduce
their plastic waste. And now it makes the road last longer. So my quarrel sometimes is, what is this Nigerian Society of Engineers doing? Is it to look at 3/8 road and say, oh, this one is not standard, that one is standard, and all the rest of that?
So in other words, you're questioning their inventions and how they look at the challenges in society.
Yes.
And what type of technology they introduce or bring forward to try and tackle these problems.
Of course. No, okay.
But has there been conversations with them to say, okay, from us as one, let's have some collaboration and see what you can do for us? Because I was asking you about in countries we see where even compressed bottles are still being recycled. Is it that we don't have the technology in Nigeria or the manpower or the machines to do that work? I see they put them through steamers, they try to disinfect them, then they do, and then they come out and you see the same bottle that you thought was dead and gone looking brand new. So why can't we do the same? Why can't the producers do the same?
In Nigeria, we don't have that technology. And if we are to buy these machines you are talking about, it's going to cost money. And when you talk about costing of money, you are going to power those machines with light. Now, do we have the light? Now, for you to power this machine, if you want to go by generator, so you're talking about almost 1,000 kVA, 100,000 kVA generator to power one part of that machine. So we are, let's say, in Africa. Africa is an underdeveloping.
But they are doing quite well
continent.
with waste management, plastic waste management in Rwanda, Kigali.
Yes, you will not compare their population with ours. It has to do with the political will of the political leaders. Now, when you give out a policy, what are you using to back up the policy? In Rwanda and in Kigali, you called, the government back up their policy with a political will. Now, I sent you a document about banning of plastic waste.
The assembly.
Good, by the assembly. Now, we have not heard about public discussion on that issue. Now, some people in Africa got up with numerous of numbers of people went to Dubai to meet countries that are developed in technology, in politics, in science, and whatsoever. And they bring a document for you to come and sign, say it's a convention protocol on handling of plastic waste. And you did not even study. When you know that majority, 90% of Africans,
Our access to potable water would be bottled water.
yes, and sachets, and even some basic amenities. They only get when I come and take aid. Come and take aid and support the end of the plastic waste. And you are now taking aid and subjecting your country to more debt and more problems. We have to sit down. We have to come back to Nigeria. We have to come back to Africa. Okay, what can work for us? The government needs to say, okay, if you want to stop this thing, we cannot totally stop this thing now. It has to take years, 10, 15, 20 years. Now, there must be a program from a starting point, assessment, then conclusion. We have to migrate. The government must be ready to tell the Bank of Industry to give loans, soft loans, to people who want to invest in recycling. Now, the government needs to come up with a policy that whatever construction we are doing, road construction, drainages, dams, or whatsoever,
Same
there must
percentage
be
of plastic
there must be
should be
some
used.
certain percentage of plastic, because it makes it last longer. Now, if government comes with this kind of policy and they are implementing it, you will see that most businessmen will want to venture into recycling.
So from all you've said, technically you're saying it would be difficult, even in this festive season, to do anything concerning reducing the amount of plastic waste that we would generate.
Yes, totally. For us as a country, for us as a people, the government must show that political will. That this policy, let's pursue it. Now we have a recycling plant at, as if you are going to Eagle Island, back of UST, that was built by Amechi. That thing is wasted there. Wasted. That could have employed close to maybe 50, 100 persons working there. And that place would be a busy place. So the government must back their policies with actions.
If it's almost impossible for us to manage the waste we would generate from plastic, what about ensuring that we have at least access to safe drinking water, especially when we see the situation with beverages, cosmetics, and the rest being adulterated and substandard products being sold? Is there anything WAPAN is doing or can do to ensure that safe water is what people get? And the price?
Concerning the price.
Is the price changing?
The price is changing. For now, let's say we are doing Christmas bonus. bag of sachet water now is 250, not the 300 again. But definitely, as we approach 2024, definitely is going to increase. What we tend doing, which I'm going to discuss with my people, we are going to see how we invest in media publicity, radio talks, to educate the public need to have access to drinking water, potable drinking water. The need for them to know how to dictate a good water, and also appealing to opinion leaders, community leaders, youth bodies in the state to also support us in clamping down quacks. They should also report. 2 days ago, some persons from the local government, Faga, I think the environmental area, they called and said they shut down the factory. I said, why will you shut down the factory? They said, Chairman, if you go to that place, it's an uncompleted building. The place is a mess, and all the rest of that. In fact, they handed over the person to police. As they are talking about the person, the owner of the place in the police station. I said, okay, can I know the place? Can you give me the name of the company? They said, no, if you come, you carry the matter come from our hand. I said, okay, fine, no problem. I let it go. At least these are people, they took the thing by themselves. They did not ask the person to give them money. So we are going to do more on public sensitization
this season. Is there a plan for this season?
For this
are you going to have to begin to move around, look at producers and check
definitely we have a monitoring team going on right now. Also, we are going to also look at the pack size. We're also looking at the pack size. So you don't tell us you are your pack size, you are declaring 50 cl. At the end of the day, what is there is not up to 50 cl. It's a criminal offense that can send you to jail. And if the Federal Competition Consumer Protection Council should come into it, that is about 100 million naira fine already. So we want to make sure that what is out there for the masses this period is good and potable drinking water. So definitely we are going to be on the lookout.
Okay, let's open the phone lines and get a response from the listener. 0817-923-0007. 0817-923-0007. You can also call 0817-923-0003. What suggestions do you have for the management of plastic waste? Very important. If you have any to share with us on Facebook, Wisdom Adindu says waste management is a lucrative way of making money, but here in Nigeria we don't give attention to other ways of making real money. Everyone's eye is in political offices and positions. Another person says, okay, you didn't state. I don't get what that message is about. Godwill Ogini. Robin in a chair. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. Hear me?
All right, go on.
I'm greeting our guests in the studio.
Thank you, sir.
All what has been said, by my own understanding, the government has failed again. You see, that body, WAPAN, they are Nigerians struggling to make a living. They do any business. Am I right?
Yeah.
But the government, what are they doing to regulate those who are deviants in that industry? Because the body, like the chairman is saying there, there's little or not much as association they can do. Because at the level with which you will go, an owner of a company will feel that they are victimizing that company. But if the government regulatory agency are up and doing, the area and the society will be sanitized. Then talking about the waste, if you ask me, we will not even do anything. Go to all the government houses in Nigeria. Did you see sachet water? What you see is bottled water. Including our Sorok. So are they thinking, no, we have Minister for Resources. Like I is trying to allude the science that India are using. Do we even have engineers? Are they thinking? What they think is to build a house, mortar and brick. Our mechanical engineers, they are not thinking to innovate to make anything. Nigeria is something old. How are we going to manage it? Hello?
All right, Robin.
If you ask me, I'm filled with emotion. Let me leave it at the government of the day. Those who find their way into office as governors, as president, ministers, commissioners, they are not thinking outside the box. If you will shock you, do you know that River State can get a company from US where they will put their pipe in that abandonment of water? They will build tanks. They will put the water from one state to the other, to the other, to the other, and at the final stage, it's going to be one of the best drinkable water in the world. It's there. They know. They will not do it. Good morning, Brother
Osaro from LMA. Good morning.
Morning. My name is Matalayo Osaro.
Go ahead.
I want to ask your guests in the studio.
Mm.
Do they have their group in LMA here?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right. The reason why I'm asking is because I don't think they usually come here because I used to run some analysis on some these company workers because I'm a lab scientist.
Okay.
So what I normally do see is drink any bottled water or sachet water because if I tell you the standard, did you know that it's highly it's not even
Okay. All right.
You can see, but I like from element.
All right. Ima in Rumokuta, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my question is just only one. And that question says, do they have, or the person in the studio, do they have information, data, or technological data of all the genuine pure water industries in River State?
Mm.
If yes, what are the mechanisms? What action does he have within himself to make sure that they don't operate? Thank you.
All right, Ima, thank you. We'll come to this because it's a very important question. I know sometimes there was names and I think grade A. I can't remember how it was graded for various water. I don't know how far that worked and how accessible those that list is. Is it online or is it still hard copies? We'll come to that. Ibiso in Odiri Road. Good morning.
Yeah, it can be complaint of the season.
Yeah, we should say, my brother.
Yes, nice topic and nice discussion this morning. I want to ask your guest, the shaman, as he's coming from Bayelsa and bought the water that affects his system, what steps did they take in stopping that water and selling water to trace where the water is coming up from? Because this particular ground, and we use fake water that they are carrying in. They have to make their own investigation to know the roots where that thing is coming out from, lock it or arrest that people. Secondly, he was talking about the machine, that the machine is expensive. To me, as a private person, if you want to go into such business and you want to take the book by the own, you go and buy that machine. Make it to be that Mr. A has that this is doing this thing. Other will come and patronize you. Yes, the government has their own faults. But you are a businessman. If you are serious, Nigeria Info is a private company that is doing their own business. So you are running a generator from 4 hours if there is no light. And you know how you generate your money. So if you are looking on government to come and maybe support you, your dreams will just lie low. So it's good you take the good by your own. You meet some of your partners, go and collaborate with them, get that machine to recycle this thing, and you make a good money from there. And these companies that are registered, when you see the fake water, What are they doing? How many companies is registering their own platform in Rivers State here? Now, if you measure of Port Harcourt city, arresting somebody, and they say if you come, the case will you take the case. Why not insist of knowing that people that are doing that one, and you know that this area is no good area for people to buy
So unfortunately, I think your airtime got exhausted, but we got your point. On Facebook, David Benson says a task force should be created by the government to go around the state, inspect water factories. Some of the area where these waters are being produced is nothing to write them about. The government should arrest and prosecute those who whoever is found guilty. Let's quickly look at that list. How is it accessible? The list of all approved water companies in Rivers State. How can we? We know that the former commissioner for water resources at the time was when we had that exercise, and I know the list came to the studio. We saw some of them, and then they were still doing certain to approve more names that would join that list. They had to go test the waters and all of that. What is the situation with that?
Refi, I'll tell you that we are. If I say we are not highly disappointed, if there's something to grade it, where I would have gone that way. The government came, we saw a green light, and we came to it. At the end of the day, the team went back to zero. Now, some persons who are graded on grade A, grade B, and C were able to finish up their upgrading by taking care of what made them to fare below those grades, and they were graded back to A, but the list was not published.
But okay, for WAPAN, don't you have your own data of those companies under your association that you know are fit and their water is safe to drink?
Yes, we do.
Is it public? Does WAPAN have it on a website or somewhere where anybody can look at the names and know that, okay, these are the ones that I can access and buy?
Okay, we have finished developing our website. Definitely by February, the upgrade will be done. But if you go on the website now, you see some, but does not only in Rivers State, other states also are there. You see the product's name and all the rest of that. So we'll definitely by January, February, we'll conclude those upgrade. But what we want to beg the governor, if he's listening, if we cannot get a commissioner for water resources now, at least the Rivers State Water Regulatory Commission should be empowered to do something. Should be given a matching order to do something. Because today the thing is not affecting any of them. Because they have access to money to have good water, maybe imported or so, I don't know. The masses who are supporting him are suffering. Even we that are the producers are suffering.
We'll wrap it up here, Mr. Mackson. Thank you for your time. We'll go for a commercial now.